Okay, so ladies, introduce yourselves.
Hi, my name is Tiana Leggett. I'm 13. I go to University of Chicago, Carter G. Woodson.
Hi, my name is Amari Malone, and I go to the exact same school, and we're living museum partners.
So they are having tea with me.
Yep.
Tell them what you're having.
I'm having a tea. It's a chocolate tea. It's actually fascinating to me because it's like chocolate and tea. That's really kind of cool.
Okay.
I'm having strawberry tea, and it's strawberry roses, so it comes out as tea. That's very cool.
Okay. Okay, so who wants to talk to me a little bit about why you're here?
Well, we're here. We have a project at school called Living Museum. It's history fair, and we take an innovation to something that happened back in the 80s and 70s and 90s. And HIV was a topic that I was really interested in after hearing Lewis-Thornton talk at the Danny Clark Foundation. So I wanted to conduct an interview with her because I think she's like the best person to talk about this topic, and it's like it will make our project amazing.
Okay. So tell me, what did you think of me when you heard me at Danny Clark on that day?
It was, well, your information, like, I didn't know anything about AIDS. I knew about it, but it was like, oh, it's a disease, yeah. And then after that, it was like, wow, really? Like, it went home, it changed a lot. Like, it changed a whole lot for me.
Okay. Hi, so I'm here with Amari and Tiana. They are interviewing me today for a project that they're doing for school, and I'm really, really excited. This, of course, is my first video. I want to talk a little bit about the Danny Clark Foundation. Amari heard me speak at the Danny Clark Foundation this summer, and I inspired her so much that she followed through, and now I am her project, she and her best friend's project for school, and I'm really touched by that. Let me back up though a little bit. In the summer, I was called unexpectedly, like at 7 in the morning. Someone said, can you speak for this organization? Their speakers have canceled on them. They had no money to pay me, and I said, I can come, but I live on the other end of town and I don't drive anymore. I gave up my car. Many of you all know that I've been going through financial difficulties, so I gave up my car. So I said, you have to provide me with transportation. So I dropped everything to pull myself together. My hair, makeup, and I sat and I waited for them to call me back. And it took a couple hours. They were still trying to get somebody to come to pick me up, and it just got so drawn out. And I was on a deadline for the Root.com that day. I needed to get them an article that they actually were paying me for. And you know, I was losing my mind. I'm like, I've stopped everything for these people, and they aren't even keeping me in the loop. I was really a little pissed. So it started at 7 that morning, and about 12 that afternoon, Danny Clark's wife, actually was the person I was dealing with, said, hop in a taxi and we will pay for it when you get here. It's about 30 miles from my house, so it was an expensive taxi route. And I got there, and when I got there, the kids were getting ready to have lunch. It had to have been about 102 degrees outside. There was very little shelter. And I was, by the time I spoke, I was tired. But I already from the heat, and I wasn't feeling well. This was a time when I really wasn't feeling well. And so I spoke to the young people. It was a wonderful audience. And I answered questions for over an hour, as I normally do in the heat. And when I finished speaking, I didn't have a ride home. And they kept telling me, oh, just chill, it'll be okay, we'll get someone to take you, we'll get someone to take you. And so I got there at 12, and I didn't leave until 5 that evening. And when I left, I was a mad black woman. I was hot, irritated. The heat was kicking my butt. So here I am, in extreme heat, trying to deal with my health, and I was really mad. Like, I didn't get home until, because obviously by that time, rush hour, and I got home not because they worked it out, but somebody else there worked it out and said, you know what, I'm going to take you home. And I was really grateful, but I was real irritated. And it wasn't that I was being a diva. It was, I was feeling like I had been taken advantage of. Like, these people, I dropped everything because they didn't have a speaker. They had maybe 150 young people there with no one to speak to them. I dropped everything to do this, and they just left me hanging with no consideration for the heat, for my health, the impact of the heat on my health. I hadn't eaten, so all it had was some water. And I was, basically when I came home, I was so exhausted that all I could do was shower and go to bed. And I just felt taken advantage of. But you know what? God knows what you do not know. And I was supposed to be there that day, regardless. And I did it. So sometimes when these situations happen, where I feel like I've been taken advantage of as a person, God always makes it okay in the end. And so while I was hot with this organization, I am so grateful that I went. Because had I not gone, had I not dropped everything to go do this, these young ladies would not be in my apartment right this moment. They wouldn't be doing a project on AIDS that will, hundreds more will actually see. And so sometimes we can't always see how God's going to work it out. And sometimes when you're in the chaos and in the madness, you know, all you think about is me. Really, at that point, I was thinking about me and self-preservation because shit, I thought I was getting ready to have a heat stroke. But really and truly, I'm reminded that I need to stay out of myself. I need to stay out of myself, because in every situation God can use it. You just have to be open and willing. And sometimes you may not see the purpose of it that day. So that day, that hot day, I couldn't see anything. I was so clouded by it all. That now today I get it, and all I can say is, Father, forgive me. Father, forgive me, and help me stay out of myself, because it's not about me, it's about how God uses me. And that's even in the worst of circumstances. Uses me.